The neural feed flickered to life across Admiral Chen's visual cortex as the reconnaissance data streamed in from the outer rim of the Kepler 442 system. Her augmented reality display painted the tactical situation in stark blue and red holographics, blue for human forces, red for the Vorthan Collective. What she saw made her jaw clench with barely contained fury. Ambassador Sarah Martinez's mutilated body floated in the cold vacuum between the two fleets, tethered to a Vorthan probe like some grotesque warning banner. The aliens had carved intricate symbols into her flesh. Their language, their customs, their complete and utter contempt for human diplomatic protocol. The bio-readings confirmed what Chen already knew. Martinez had been alive during the mutilation, kept conscious through alien neurochemical cocktails until the very end. "Ma'am," Lieutenant Commander Park's voice crackled through the quantum communicator. "We're receiving a transmission from the Vorthan flagship." Chen's fingers tightened around the command chair's armrests. The carbon fiber composite groaned under the pressure. "Put it through." The main holographic display shimmered, revealing the elongated skull and four amber eyes of Hierarchist Velthek. The Vorthan's translator rendered his clicks and chittering sounds into cold, mechanical English. "Human Admiral Chen, your flesh diplomat violated sacred feeding protocols. The punishment carving was necessary justice. Your species collective will withdraw retreat from this star system or face similar honor corrections." Chen's response was swift and surgical. Hierarchist Velthek, Ambassador Martinez carried full diplomatic immunity under the Galactic Accords. Your actions constitute a war crime under 17 different stellar conventions. I'm giving you one opportunity to surrender your fleet and submit to tribunal proceedings. The Vorthan's mandibles clicked in what the translation software interpreted as laughter. "Human hubris remains constant amusing. Your species collective possesses 12 vessels craft. The Vorthan Collective commands 47 warships. Mathematics logic suggests immediate surrender." "Mathematics," Chan said quietly, her voice carrying the weight of humanity's industrial might, "has never been humanity's strongest suit. Engineering," however she cut the transmission and activated the fleet-wide tactical network. 43 vessels materialized around Chen's flagship as their stealth generators powered down. Sleek, predatory shapes that had been hiding in the system's asteroid belt for the past 6 hours. The Vorthan formation immediately began scattering, their surprise evident in the chaotic movement patterns. "All ships," Chun broadcast across the neural command network, "initiate Protocol Omega, for Ambassador Martinez. For Earth, for every human life that depends on the galaxy knowing we don't negotiate with butchers." The first wave of human missiles screamed across the void at a significant fraction of light speed. Unlike conventional kinetic weapons, these carried compact fusion warheads guided by quantum-entangled targeting systems. The Vorthan point defense systems, designed to intercept slower projectiles, were overwhelmed in seconds. 3 Vorthan cruisers disappeared in brilliant nuclear flowers. The remaining ships began return fire, plasma bolts and particle beams that lit up the darkness like an artificial aurora. Chun watched the tactical display as her own vessels danced through the barrage, their adaptive armor plating shifting configurations to deflect and absorb the incoming energy. The engagement's turning point came when the human destroyer Vengeance performed an impossible maneuver, using its gravity manipulation drives to slingshot around Kepler 442b's largest moon and emerge directly above the Vorthan flagship. The ship's spinal-mounted rail cannon discharged a depleted uranium penetrator at 30% light speed. Hierarchist Velthek's ship split apart like an overripe fruit. But Chun wasn't finished. As the surviving Vorthan vessels attempted to retreat, she activated the system's hidden ace, a network of quantum beacons that had been secretly deployed by Earth's intelligence services over the past year. The beacons created localized space-time distortions, effectively trapping the alien fleet in a gravitational cage. "This is Admiral Chun to all Vorthan vessels," she transmitted across all frequencies. "You are now prisoners of the Terran Defense Force. Any attempt to escape will result in immediate destruction. Prepare to be boarded." The boarding actions were swift and brutal. Human Marines in powered exoskeletons cut through Vorthan hull plating like tissue paper, their weapons specifically designed to exploit weaknesses in alien biology. The Vorthons, who had expected easy victory against the numerically inferior human force, found themselves facing warriors whose entire military doctrine had been rebuilt around one simple principle: overwhelming technological superiority applied with surgical precision. Within 6 hours, the battle was over. 34 Vorthon vessels had been captured, their crews now facing war crimes tribunals. The remainder had been reduced to expanding clouds of superheated plasma. Chun stood on her flagship's observation deck, watching as the Remembrance collected Ambassador Martinez's body. The diplomatic corps would want to give her a proper funeral, with full honors and a memorial that would remind future generations of the price of peace. But Chun knew the real memorial would be this battle. The day humanity announced to the galaxy that its ambassadors traveled under the protection of the most dangerous military force in known space. Word would spread through the trade networks and diplomatic channels. Earth's representatives were not to be harmed, not to be threatened, not to be treated as anything less than sacred. The Vorthon Collective would serve as the example. Their surviving members would return to their homeworld carrying the message that humanity's mercy had limits, and those limits had been carved in nuclear fire across the void of space. As the fleet prepared to jump back to Earth space, Chun allowed herself one moment of satisfaction. Ambassador Martinez's death had been avenged, but more importantly, her sacrifice had purchased something invaluable: respect. In a galaxy where dozens of species competed for resources and territory, respect was often the only thing standing between civilization and chaos. The stars wheeled overhead as the human fleet engaged their faster-than-light drives, carrying news of victory back to Earth. Behind them, the Kepler 442 system bore new scars, burn marks and debris fields that would serve as monuments to a simple truth: humanity protected its own, and heaven help anyone who forgot that lesson.